Hi guys, welcome back to another tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to deploy a web application onto Azure DevOps using a CI/CD pipeline. So in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to link your GitHub account to your Azure DevOps to a DevOps project, and then to create a build pipeline on your GitHub account, and then continue that to form a release pipeline. So for the sake of this tutorial, you're going to need a GitHub account, of course, and you're going to need an Azure account. So I have my Azure account up and running, and the first thing you need to do is log into your Azure portal. So portal.azure.com, login, and you're going to need to create a new resource group. So this is not necessary, but I like to create a new resource group each time I start a new video. So I'm going to go ahead and in resource groups click on add, and I'm going to name it as my React tutorial. Right, I want to name it as my React tutorial. Nothing big, just something simple. Right, so I'm going to click on review plus create. Yeah, my React tutorial should be good, and it is fine. Validation passed. And I'm going to click on create and give it some time. Right, so resource group has been created. So the next thing you need to do after your resource group has been created is you need to create a new DevOps project, because we're going to be using DevOps. And so in that case, we're going to navigate back to home and click on DevOps projects, and we're going to create a new DevOps project. So click on add and let it load. Right, so now you have two choices here. You can start off with a new application, in the sense you can use a template provided by Azure. For example, use Node.js, .NET, and if you've seen my previous tutorials, I've used .NET. I've used this to deploy a .NET application onto Azure and etc. So you can use any of these, and you may have to use a static website. But in this case, I'm going to start off with my own application. My own application meaning my React application that's on my GitHub account. So I'm going to click on bring your own code and click on next. And right, code repository, it's on GitHub. You can use Bitbucket as well, so it depends on your version control system. So authorize my GitHub account. Now it's going to ask me to log in, but I guess I'm already logged in. So you guys, if you're logging in for the first time, it's going to ask you for your credentials. Right, so repository, I'm going to be using the React app repository, which is this. So my React app, again, this is just a sample React app. I just created a simple React app and just uploaded it on GitHub for the sake of this tutorial. The branch is master branch, yes. And application framework, it's not Dockerized. So in the future, I may be doing a tutorial on Dockerization. So for now, it's not Dockerized. Select application runtime, it is Node.js. So again, it depends on your application. If you're using .NET, you select .NET, etc., etc. So once this is ready, click on next. Service, I'm going to keep it as a Windows web app, and path to application code. Right. So in this case, I'm going to have to give my GitHub URL. So I'm going to have to log into GitHub. And so this is my application. React app is my application. So I'm going to select this, and this is going to be the URL. So a simple URL, just copy this. So it depends, if whichever repository you're using, whichever repository you want to upload the code from, you select or you copy the URL of that repository and you paste it as the application code, the path. And the task runner, you don't need any, you don't need to select these two. Just click on none, and okay, this should be good for now. And Windows web app, yep, and click on next. Right, project name. Right, so now you can give any meaningful name. It's up to you, completely up to you. In my case, I'm going to give it as my React tutorial. Again, let's see if I can just give the same name. Can I? Yeah, my React tutorial. Yeah, so I want to need to copy this because I want to need it in the future. Once I've created my build and release pipelines and I've deployed my application, I'm going to need this URL to view this. So I'm going to just save this for now. I'm not going to be using it for now, but I may need it in the future. So give your name over here and click on done. And your web app name should be done. Yeah, my React tutorial, and click on next or create. And yeah, this is going to take a while. It took me around 2 or 3 minutes the last time I did it. So just give it some time, be patient. And so once we create this, So this is our dev. So what we did at the start is we created our Azure account and then the GitHub account, and then what we did was we created a new resource group, and then we initiated a new DevOps project. Within that DevOps project, we added our GitHub account, and we uploaded and we connected them, and we have now, this is our first commit, so our deployment is underway, and it should take some time. And once this is done, what we're going to do is we're going to navigate to the portal again and create our first build pipeline. We're going to post our second commit, and after that we're going to create a release pipeline for that. So just give it around 3-4 minutes. Right, your deployment is complete. So as you can see, we've got this far. So the next thing you need to do is you need to view the resource. So go ahead and go to resource, and this is your tabs. These are your tabs. So the next thing we need to do is we need to create a build pipeline. So the code has been deployed, it has been committed. Now this repository was actually created a long time ago, 4 or 5 months ago. So the first build is in progress, so I'm not sure how it's going to go, but we're going to be creating a proper commit. We're going to be deploying a proper commit, so I'm not sure if this will go out well, the first commit. So let's just wait for this and see what happens. But again, if it doesn't go out well, we can create a new commit, a new pipeline, and yeah, okay, so it didn't go out well. So what happened here was that the initial commit, what we did was didn't go out well. So there's no worries. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna create a new pipeline. We're gonna create a new pipeline, and hopefully it should work out. So this is your build pipeline. Under your pipelines, click on new pipeline. Where is your code? Now you may be using, you can use Azure Repos Git, but I will be using that in the future tutorial. But in this case, we're going to be using GitHub, of course, or you can use Bitbucket as well. So click on GitHub, and it's going to ask you to select your GitHub repository. So in this tutorial, you're going to be needing to select your repository a couple of times. So just remember that, and select your repository. My repository is React app. So this is my repository. I'm going to click on this, and it's going to validate the repository. And right, so in my case, it's given me these options. So my React app is actually a simple Node.js application. Or wait, I may have to check if it's Express, or am I using Express? Let me just go ahead and check index.js. Right, so actually it's just a simple application. So I'm just going to be selecting node.js. So again, it actually completely depends on what you have. So it completely depends on what application you're running and what application you want to run. So just review your pipeline YAML, so you don't need to change this, you'll automatically create everything. And click on save and run. So once this build has been created, we're going to need to create a release pipeline. So click on save and run. It's actually a very simple process, you just need to get the hang of it. And it's actually very useful because then you can actually allow your application to be more robust. So more changes you do, it automatically deploys and creates releases. So you don't need to worry about that. So just give it some time. And again, this is going to take a while. So just give it some time, and yeah. Right, it depends on how big your application actually is. So you're going to have to wait for a bit. And well, in my case, it's actually a simple one. So yeah, right. So everything is done now. So we're good in this now. This commit has been done. So if you actually go back and if you look at it, let me just show you guys. Pipelines. Right. So we don't need to worry about this. So we've created our first proper build now. So as you can see, it's been successful. So what you need to do now is, after you create your first build, you're going to need to create a release pipeline. So you can actually give your settings, you can actually configure this. So this is your first thing. So I want to just show you guys, you can actually edit pipelines, and you can change it accordingly. So for now, I don't need any edits actually. So authorize this, but I actually do not need to edit anything. So I want to go back. On pipelines, and we're going to create a new release. So once we create a new release, it should be good to go, and we're going to have the application up and running. Okay, so we're going to actually follow this method. Instead of going through that, we're going to create a new release pipeline. So click on new and click on new release pipeline. And right, so over here you can select any of these, but in my case I'm going to be using Azure App Service Deployment. So I'm going to click on this. Or let's just try and deploy Node.js app to Azure App Service. Let's see if this works around. So I'm going to click on apply for now. We can just continue from the start. Or instead of source type, you can use build or connect the GitHub as well. So okay, so instead of going through a more longer process, you actually need to select this my React tutorial CI. So for the sake of this tutorial, let me just show you guys. You can connect your GitHub account as well. So it's going to be my React tutorial GitHub, right? And repository is going to be, you're going to need to search my repository, which is React app, and the default branch is going to be master. So just give it some time, and each time you select, it's going to load again. So actually what you need to do is your build pipeline should be connected, but in the event that you get any errors in here, I've switched to the GitHub one for now. So just go and select a default version, latest from the default branch. It should be okay for now. So yeah, and yeah, this should be fine for now. Click on add. So my artifacts has been added. So you can modify this according to your necessity. So click on save and comment. We don't need any comments for now. Right, so once you've saved this and once you've created this, and this is going to be a URL, I said you may need this URL, and just go ahead and click on create release, and it's going to be stage 1, yes, and version, yeah, set up right, and release descriptor, we don't need to create anything. So just go ahead and click on create, and just give it some time. Again, for this for my PC, it takes a very long time, so it's going to take a while for now. So as you guys can see, the deployment is in progress. I've just clicked on deploy, and once this is done, it should be up and running, and each time you create a build and a release, it should refresh each time. So this will take a very long time, so I'm gonna end this for now. So once this is done, you can view your application. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next tutorial.